Hey guys, what's up? It's Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews, and I'm here with another one of my favorite blank movie videos. Today I want to talk about my favorite J-horror film, which is Noroi the Curse from 2005. To properly give some context and hopefully, explain why I love this film so much, I need to delve into my history with J-horror for a little bit first. So when I was a young lad, I saw the American remake of The Ring. And while today I think it's a pretty spooky and solid little movie, I remembered hating it as a kid and carrying that hatred into my late teens. Either way, I remember being in my early teens and I had an allowance of like 15 bones a week. And with this money, I used it to expand my collection, and it became bigger and more eccentric as time went on. And that's how I saw the classic Ju-on the Grudge. I remember getting my copy in the mail and watching it and thinking, holy shit, this movie fucking sucks. After that, I got my hands on Ringu and Ringu 2, which I adored. A bit later, I found a DVD set of the first of the One Missed Call trilogy for $5 at FYE. One of the best deals I've ever found at FYE. And One Missed Call really blew me away. It legitimately scared me, which was uncommon for J-horror at this point in my life. In high school, I saw Suicide Club from 2001, directed by Sion Sono. That was probably my favorite J-horror film at least until I saw Noroi. It kind of sucks that Sion Sono is like a piece of shit because I really like his movies, and when I heard about the stuff involving him, I don't want to get too much into it, I legitimately cried because one of my favorite filmmakers had turned out to be a piece of shit. Still, Suicide Club is still a great movie, though. I saw Pulse shortly after high school, and I thought it was pretty good. In high school, I watched E.G. the Killer, and to this day, I still quite enjoy it. I also got that one off of eBay with allowance money. Same with Audition, another Takashi Miike film, which blew my fucking balls off and is, again, one of my favorite J-horror films. J-horror has obviously never been my favorite genre, as I've mainly just seen, like, the bigger entries in it and not any of the obscure stuff. But I get drawn back into it every so often, because I hear things about specific movies. After high school, I remember hearing something about this film called Noroi that is supposedly, like, the Japanese equivalent of Blair Witch, and I was immediately on board. So using my jailbroken Fire Stick, I streamed it on the big living room TV in my house in the middle of the night on a cool, silent summer's night, and it was fucking horrifying. I never thought I'd see a contemporary J-horror film that would take the route that Noroi takes, and that is, it's a mockumentary. But and while I did compare it to the Blair Witch Project, it's not exactly like the Blair Witch Project either. Noroi is framed as the final entry in a series of direct-to-video / direct-to-TV paranormal folklore documentaries that this guy makes. And it went unreleased for being too scary, too disturbing, supposedly, and now here it is. The documentary involves telepathic kids, abortions, literal tinfoil hat conspiracies, and a cursed village. Now, sure, I haven't seen too many of these Japanese paranormal TV documentaries, aka I've seen none of them, but I have a pretty general idea of the aesthetics thanks to some of this director's other films, as well as just other J-horror films and media from Japan in general. The abrasive, lo-fi visuals, very obtuse editing, heavy reliance on interviews, and the periodic use of a group discussion format with all kinds of guests. It's super interesting. It's a super interesting contrast to the paranormal docs and shows that we have here in the States. It vibes despite not being as ADHD friendly as something like Ghost Hunters. These aesthetics work well when the scares are as consistent as they are here. I remember one scene, there's a figure in the background of the shot, and it's very easy to miss. But they legit replay it in slow motion, zoom in on it, and the image is visibly crunchy, really low quality and pixelated. And it somehow makes it feel creepier and more real, even if the edit feels kind of campy and out of place. God. And that's what I love about this film, is its commitment to the bit for as long as they needed to. Although after the first hour, the film does kind of use those elements less and less as the documentary dissolves into just becoming the raw footage that this documentary filmmaker shot. I think it's cool, and the final act is legit one of the most consistently scary third acts in the history of horror. It's so different from any other J-horror or found footage film or mockumentary horror film, or combination of the three that I'd ever seen up to this point in my life, or, I've seen at all. The visual effects used for some scenes are very okay looking. Not bad, but not very good either. But combined with the cheap looking aesthetics and the shot on kind of digital video format, the effects feel more unsettling and uncanny. This quality persists through a lot of this director's work, and it definitely works better in his film Occult than it does here. The acting and writing are pretty high quality, I think. The dialogue matches the stuff from this kind of media pretty well, and the genuine awkward tension between people in interviews and genuine fear during the occult rituals and occasional unhinged behavior is just really great. The plot is weird, it's dark, it's creepy, it's super intricate, and I genuinely really love this movie and its sister films, Occult and Cult, quite a bit, although neither of them goes quite as hard as Noroi does. If you haven't seen Noroi the Curse or Occult specifically, and you love cosmic horror, you love weird horror, you love shot found footage horror, then you are going to appreciate these movies so much. I'm sorry that my voice is going. I have a cold. Anyway, that's it for now. I love this movie, and I just gotta get that out there. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. This is Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews, signing off. Peace.